Okay, Lloyd Dussault Sr. checking in. It's been a long time since I've fired up the camera or even gone down to the workshop. So we're, let's see, I got the 30th of April of 2020 here, just to keep everything square. So I'm one of them 75-year-old guys that's hiding out what a lot of my friends who were hiding out, hoping to survive the epidemic. So I dragged my carcass downstairs when I got tired of watching YouTube videos. And I'm starting on a project. Well, I've actually started on it, but I figured, well, where it's all opened up, it's not going to be a big mystery. And then if I told you this is what I built and tried to explain to what you can't see. So the sides of this I bent up, I think almost 2 years ago now. Time goes by. And I did them with my electric burning device, high voltage burn with a little bit of baking soda and water. And I think it kind of came out kind of cool, but I went off on other things, and these two sides I sat down and sat around, and a couple 3 days ago I says, maybe I go down and take a look, see what's going on in the basement. And it was a total disaster, so I kind of cleaned it up a little bit, and I found these sides and says, maybe it'd be a good idea if you turn off the tube for a little while every day and poke around in the basement in the workshop. So this will eventually be hopefully a tenor ukulele. The body's a little bit smaller on it than you would normally see on one of these. The other ones I've got a little bit bigger, but this is the way the body came out and the size it is. And we're going to go with it. So it's all been steam bent before. I said put aside. I made new blocking, cut some blocking here. I go with my purfling, I guess what you call it. And I don't do the one that's all sawed that you buy, or you can make it yourself. What I've been doing is I've been usually steam bending mine. And let me see if I can get that close. The camera can see inside there a little bit. And anyways, that's how I do it. Glue it up, snap it together, and all the clips and about 500,000 clamps. The neck on this one here is like everything else I do, for the most part, comes from something that's been recycled. And I'm trying to think. This was all part of a big bunk bed set. Pine bunk bed, yellow pine, which is really good lumber. It's nice and straight and very, very dense to me. It's a good dense lumber. So I took it apart. Part of it ended up being a stand for a 50-gallon fish tank, which hopefully I can get rid of one of these days. I still have fish, but they're going to go outdoors, and I think they're going to spend the winter outdoors next year. So anyways, this is laminated, 3 pieces. And I grooved this out so I could put a filler in there to give it a little bit of fancy. And this is around the edges. This lumber here, if I remember right, came from a piece of Burl, from a Burl piece of lumber that I have, that a good sized chunk that sat in the yard for a long time and almost went too far before I found somebody that could mill it up for me. And they milled it up and they made some nice coffee tables out of it, and I got some of the remnants here. So, anyways, this is what we have. I've got it this far cut out. Naturally, I have to shape it. I'm not going to put you through all the boredom of shaping. I may show a little bit of it sometime how it's done, how I do it. And sometimes I do things that are a little unorthodox. And this is what it's going to sort of kind of look like when the project's done, when there's a top on it. Way under the gas. Alright. This will be somewhere, or about there. So, I don't know what I'm going to do for this. This is just my storyboard so I can get the frets in the right place. And what we have here, I believe, is part of that Burl it was cut, and I was able to get I didn't salvage too much of it to get a mirror image, but I did get a mirror image on this one, as you can see. So this is going to be the top, and I have to come up with the bottom now. So anywho, that's where we're at with this project right now, and I'll check in a little bit as I go along here. I haven't decided what I want to work on next, but I probably will go look around for a piece of material to do the back with, and we'll pretty much have all the lumber I need to do the job once I get the back, something to make the back up. So, Boy Deuce, I'll see you checking out for the moment. Well, I'm back for the moment. I found a few scraps of wood, and I'm getting ready to glue this up, so I figured I'd turn on the camera for a minute and see how this works out here. Alright, nothing fancy about this. Try to get enough on there to do the job, hopefully. And there we go. I'm trying not to get the wax paper caught up underneath, which would not be a good idea if it gets into the joint. Bit here, there, and everywhere, but it'll all come off with the scraper, fortunately. Alright now, well, I'm back. I think I forgot to turn the camera on, maybe. But anyways, glue, 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 glue. Shims on the edge, I think you can see the whole works. Alright, so this has all been glued up. These have all been squared up on the edges. We'll put this here. Put this here, like a lot. And then we'll put this piece of steel on top of the whole 9 yards. And that's going to hopefully make everything stay down like it's supposed to. Now I'm going to attempt to easily snug up the braid clamps. That should have tightened it up. we let it set and let it dry. And then go from there. Now I stained the dark pieces you see, or you can't see them now, but anyways, the darker colored ones were stained with that white vinegar and steel wool that you kind of chop up and throw in a jar with the white vinegar, and you let it set for a few days, and eventually it kind of turns a funky color, and you can use it as a stain. It works well on oak for sure. It turns oak real black. I've had a few instruments that I've made that I've used it on the sides to get a certain technique, and I've been happy with it. These pieces here are darkened up nicely, so we'll see. I may sand a lot of that off. I haven't decided. So, like I said, it's a stain, so some of it will probably sand out to a little bit lighter, lighter shade of black. But anyways, that's that. So I'm gonna shut off the camera. Sorry you didn't get me to see the glue up edges, and actually it went quite well, so there wasn't no cursing. So I'm gonna shut it off and take a break. Lloyd Dussault Sr. checking out. Well, I'm back for a couple minutes here. While the top was dry, the bottom was drying, I started to work over the neck. I've got the curved roughed out pretty good. Well, just going to be a little final detailing on it and some fine sanding, and we'll pretty much have this part except for the there. That'll go on top. We're done. Not this one, but this is a model for one. So I think I'm going to take me another break. Don't want to overwork, you know. So the bottom, excuse me, is drying. The neck has been done. And I got to do the bridge and the nut and a few other things to do on it. But moving along quite nicely. So hopefully it'll sound halfway as decent when I get her done. You never know until you string them up and bang on it a little bit and see what happens. But that's about it for right now. So, Lloyd Dussault Sr. checking out.